Based on episode 3 is scooped up by S rank adventurer, I would personally definitely say this episode was kind of slow. It was definitely kind of was. It wasn't very kind of fast paced or slow paced, but it was kind of slow. It really was not really that slow or anything like that. But I like the build up based off the characters based on this anime, which I definitely do think that is really such a good thing, and I definitely think that it really actually is. I kind of want to personally say here is that Lloyd is pretty much I really has grown up pretty much really a lot, and you has grown up pretty much really a lot. I say all the members are pretty much I have pretty much they're growing up pretty much basically a lot. If I had to pick two favorite characters basically, it's you and also Lloyd. Also as well too, because the reason I picked both of those two is because I think both of those two has good chemistry between each other, and they have good concentration with each other also as well too. And I definitely do see a love interest between both of them, and I really definitely do think so. That's a very good possibility that could be a love interest maybe down the road. Now I don't know if this is going to be like a romance based kind of anime, but I'm sensing it's going to be kind of similar to basically of that. That's what I'm definitely I am thinking. But it's kind of like I feel like I'm watching Sword Art Online, because Kirito, he's on his journey, he's doing his own thing and stuff like that. He runs into basically a few girls and stuff like that, and basically some of the few girls that probably may have liked him or something like that, or whatever that maybe is. But I want to say here is basically that I think I think that she did the right thing picking Lloyd as for a white mage. For a white mage means that he is basically known as a healer. Known as here to take as instance for Final Fantasy 14 Online, which is a game I play. Excuse me, which is a game I play. A white mage is supposed to, their job is basically supposed to do, they're supposed to heal. That's what they're supposed to do. That's mainly their job. Now with Lloyd, basically also based with himself, he can learn other different magic and stuff like that, and basically stuff like that. One thing I really am glad about with this anime is that one thing I'm very happy about with this, that he doesn't seem like he's an overpowered basic kind of person. That's something I really definitely like. But I want to personally say here, basically that I do like anime. I do like watching anime. That when it comes to some people being overpowered, but people mistakenly just say like, oh yeah, he's just overpowered because just the way he really actually is, and stuff like that, and just understanding the mechanics and stuff like that. Basically, when it comes to anime or basically in a game, it doesn't really matter like who's overpowered or who's really stronger. It just matters with the gears and stuff like that, and all the rest of the other stuff that basically that you definitely do have. Now, enhancements is also very critical also as well too. Enhancements can enhance your weapons, your gear. Take as instance for World of Warcraft. That's a very good example. That if you enhance your gear and your weapons and stuff like that, it can give you the boost of the morale that you basically definitely need. With that morale that basically that you need, it can help you better out on your quests, like on raiding and or PvP or basic in general. Now, take it. This is for gems. Gems are very, very important also as well too. Gems are very important. That when you put in your gear or you put in your sword, just like what materia used as like back in Final Fantasy 7, like you use like material, like you can use like any material that you want, but you have to use a specific material for the gear and for the weapon, because if you really don't, then a lot of people are probably going to say like you're not using it right, you're not using it good, because it could lead a lot of confusion, and it can basically lead that some people will probably say, yeah, we need to boot this guy for the group because he's not really doing all that great. Because if you don't have the right material, you're not going to be able to succeed basically forward on when it comes to basically you're doing adventure and stuff like that. I kind of like the term basically adventure. Adventure is basically like you're on a journey, you're questing, you're saving people, you're making friends, you're making allies and stuff like that, and stuff like that. And I definitely like that and stuff like that. Yeah, and one thing I really enjoy really the most is when it comes to Final Fantasy 14 is that learning some of the things about what they did and stuff like that. Back in the past, their experience and stuff like that, back in raids and stuff like that, learning about other different things and stories and story wise and stuff like that. And the reason why I compare this anime to basically to Final Fantasy 14 and World of Warcraft because it feels like you're on a journey. That's what it kind of feels like to me. It feels like you're on a journey for your own story, your own quest, and you learn and see from different aspects from all over the world and stuff like that and stuff like that, and it makes you feel like I don't mean to sound like I'm kind of weird or be kind of crazy, but it makes you feel like you're really actually in an anime. That's what it feels like to me. Because the reason why I like watching anime and the reason why I like playing MMORPG games online because it makes you feel like you're really actually in an anime. It makes you feel like you're really on an adventure. You're learning about the stories from other different players about like what they do and stuff like that. It's such a great feeling. It really is. It's a wonderful feeling. It really actually is. And I feel like I found my place. Where I feel like I'm home. I feel like this is really awesome. This is really good and stuff like that. And and seeing that adventure, the person that you really basically are. Like if you're taking like the Lich King or Illidan or taking on Alexander or Ifrit or Shiva or whoever it maybe is and stuff like that. I think both games, basically in general to me, World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy 14, they're both good, but they all have both pros and cons and stuff like that. But if something I prefer Final Fantasy 14, to be honest with you, in my own opinion. But the reason why basically all I'm saying is because I'm really happy I'm watching this anime because it really reminds me of the adventure I am having. And it really actually is. It's a good feeling. It's a really great feeling to me. I really definitely do think it really actually is. And I think it's wonderful. To me, I definitely do think it is. I definitely think it is. It's something enjoyable. It's a journey that you get to learn and stuff like that. And just see Lloyd, just basically he gets to learn about his teammates, basically in his crew. He gets to learn from them and learn from them from the things and stuff like that. But let me just also say this: take as for instance from a quote. If you guys never seen the movie called Days of Thunder, this is a very good quote. A very good quote. I can teach a dog new tricks. A dog can learn new tricks. You know why? Because it takes time for a dog to learn new tricks. Because each and every different animal can learn new tricks. They can learn. They're developing. They can learn just like a computer. A computer can learn also as well too. Can learn. If we were to put that software in that computer, then that computer will be able to process and learn from that also as well too. That's what I like about Lloyd. He's not only because he's learning, but he's learning because of the teachings from his master. Which I definitely do think that is a really great thing. I do apologize for my voice. My voice is kind of hoarse. But that's what basically it feels to me. But I definitely do like this anime. I definitely do. I think it's very enjoyable to watch. I think it really actually is. I definitely do think it feels that experience to me, and it really actually is. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And like I said, I don't want people to think I'm being weird or being crazy or anything like that. But it really is. It's such a great feeling. It really is. It just feels like you're on an adventure. And you feel like you're really actually in an anime. That's what it feels to me. And that's just my opinion. That's what I definitely do think. And I enjoy that really so much. And I really do. And I definitely do think it's a really wonderful feeling. It really is. And I definitely do think, I don't know if some of you guys would agree with me or not, but I would personally just say, like, watch the anime and play both of the games. But even though I don't play both because I like Final Fantasy 14 more better than World of Warcraft, but that's just my opinion. But I probably will make a video on that probably later on in the future. Probably will, and explain why I really prefer Final Fantasy 14 over the World of Warcraft. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this anime review. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me with some of the things I said? What are you guys' thoughts about? What are you guys' thoughts about the anime? What are you guys' thoughts about you and Lloyd basically being love interests or something like that? That could be a very good possibility. What are you guys' thoughts about basically Lloyd basically teaching different mechanics to his group, which I definitely do think that's a really great thing to me. And what are you guys' opinions on? Like, I'm really kind of curious. Well, what kind of online games you guys play? Do you guys play World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14? I mean, do you guys play any of those? I'd really love to hear you guys' stories and stuff like that, like how you play the games and stuff like that. And I definitely would love to learn from that. I really would. I really do, and I respect that really a lot. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. Doesn't matter to me. And please leave your comments down below. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care. God bless. Remember, I love you guys. Please save. And remember, stay blessed. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.